Here I want to talk about the way the filmmaker can control the orientation of the camera in space, its position in relation to its surroundings, and the way this can affect the audience. As we move through the world, we see it move around us, but we also feel it. We receive information from all our senses, including information about our physical state, and we maintain our orientation, our sense of balance and well-being, under widely differing conditions. Our bodies can turn, twist, tumble and spin. In fact, the ability to maintain our sense of balance is even more important to us than sight itself. And it is the relationship of what we see to our physical sense of equilibrium that is the theme of this film. If you watch the horizon here, you will find that after a few moments you begin to experience a feeling of movement. To film that scene, we mounted the camera on a tripod in the boat. So the camera moves as the boat moves. When the boat is in the shot, it appears fixed in relation to the frame. But the horizon rocks from side to side. This is unnatural because our perception tells us that the world is fixed and that we move around freely in it. Our bodies accurately signal what is level and what isn't, and we perceive the horizon as a fixed plane. This only changes when we become seasick, that is, disoriented. Then the world sways around underneath us. What is important here is that the information from our eyes can override, cancel out our other senses. Psychologists call this the dominance of visual information. When the screen is a relatively small part of our visual field, we remain aware of where we are, our physical surroundings, and we're conscious of sitting still. However, as our attention, our concentration is drawn into the images projected in front of us, we can become absorbed into the world represented there, and it begins to influence our physical equilibrium, our orientation. Think of where the audience sits as a black box floating through the space revealed to it by the camera. Think of the living physical presence of these people and the care with which the box must be moved if they are to remain comfortable and the world outside their windows to remain believable. But this assumes that we always want to keep the audience comfortably hypnotized by the images we present. Many filmmakers reject this. They want the audience to remain aware that film and television are not real life, but arguments about it that need to be critically examined. And the motion picture need not draw us in. It can have a two-dimensional, abstract quality, as if a blind has been drawn over that magic window. The camera can be used to disorient the audience intentionally. Often we want them to feel unstable or shaken or exhilarated. But what I want to stress here is that the rougher and more disoriented the camera becomes, the harder the audience must work, and I mean work, to maintain their sense of equilibrium. As I said before, our own experience of the world is of a solid, fixed environment. We are rarely conscious of it bouncing around in front of us as we walk or run or move. Let's look again at the situation with the rocking, disoriented horizon. If we want to imitate normal experience here, the camera must move independently of the boat, so Don is hand-holding it, using his own sense of balance to keep the camera level. Now the boat is rocking, and the horizon appears steady. Hand-holding is one of the most misunderstood techniques. Some people will hear nothing against it, believing it's the only way the camera can be free, and yet other filmmakers avoid it wherever possible. Its success depends very much on the skill of the operator, and with some cameras like the Eclair NPR or the Arriflex BL here, physical endurance rather than strength plays an important part. The main misunderstanding is the idea that the camera becomes part of the person holding it, an extension of the operator's body, seeing and experiencing the world as he does. And of course it's not as simple as that. Don experiences the world with all his senses while he looks through the camera, but it only records an image. So Don must create with the camera what it looks like to walk through the world. He must become part of the camera. The camera is not the filmmaker's eye. It is more like the eye of the audience. They are inside the camera, looking out. That's one of the advantages of the camera mounts developed recently, which isolate the camera from the body of the operator. The Steadicam and Panaglide systems allow the camera to float in space, oriented to gravity. The weight of the camera and its television monitoring system is supported by the operator via a jointed arm, which incorporates a system of springs. And so the camera is effectively isolated from the operator's jolting and bouncing. This is the shot taken by that camera. As you can see, it's remarkably steady. It is possible to walk with the camera without a trace of that familiar handheld look. Over rough ground or stairs, the system is particularly successful. Camera mounts like this Steadicam come closest to simulating our own experience of the world because they orient the camera to gravity. The hardest thing with the Steadicam or hand-holding is coming smoothly to a stop and holding a static shot for a long time. And you can be forced to use wide-angle lenses because of the difficulty of holding an exact framing. Only rigid mounting of the camera allows really precise control of framing when the camera pans, tilts or zooms. And following focus or zooming can often involve an additional operator working close to the camera, and this is also made easier by having the camera rigidly mounted. And if the camera is to move through space, it can be mounted on a dolly, which runs on wheels or even tracks. And the same precise control is possible. The camera can be completely still for as long as necessary and then move off to a precise set of pre-rehearsed marks.